Hello, people, and welcome to another fine episode of Who's That Anime with your hosts Steve and Colin. I am the Colin, and he is the
I
Steve.
am I'm the Steve. Yep, that
Uh,
is me. Hello.
Hi, and we're talking about the melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, and we're still talking about the saga of the Endless Eight, but it's the final episode for us.
Fear not, the Endless Eight is nearly ended.
It's
Uh,
it's nearly time.
Thank God. Um, yeah, and again to start this off as always, we are watching this in the broadcast order, not the chronological order.
Yes. Uh, doesn't matter so much at the moment as it's now kind of like working its way through. There's a couple of episodes, obviously, we covered them already, which was on season one, which actually happened at the end of the entire seasons. That's there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is Endless Eight, episode 7 and 8. That's right, there's 8 episodes in a saga called the Endless Eight. I mean, that's
Yeah.
unusual, I think. Usually, when they have something like Endless Eight, is like, and it's a saga, it lasts for a hell of a lot longer than the number of episodes. Like, because usually talking about like maybe 8 people or 8 things.
Yeah. I yeah. I'm okay. So again, preface: summer holidays, 2 weeks, time loop. It's Haruhi's fault.
Mhm.
That they're being reverted every time. She doesn't seem to be enjoying her summer holiday enough and is subconsciously resetting everything. The rest of the SOS Brigade seem to figure that out halfway through the episode each time, uh, only to change nothing. Nothing. They don't do fuck all about it. Every time they do nothing about it. Not once. Not once do they try to do anything different. I mean, I
Oh,
know they don't know what happened before, but the point is why couldn't they just try and do something out of the box?
well, they do something slightly different. Oh, I mean, they're all trying to egg on Keon to do something for some reason and never do anything themselves.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I
I
suppose
mean,
that's down to they're all being observers. So
so episode 7 is basically just the same as every other episode, except I think a couple of things happen twice. Like it loops a couple of things twice in the same episode.
they do. It's kind of what happened in episode 5 at the end, where Harry goes up to leave out the cafe, and then Keon's going, "I got to do something," and then she kind
Yeah.
of almost walks out, and then she's back at the table, and he's saying, "I got to do something," and then she disappears off the screen, and then she's back at the table, and then she leaves, and nothing happens. Episode 7, there's a few changes, I think. Once again, this is probably the most notable episode for changes in the sense that I think the montage at the end is more animated, it's not the stills. And the
Yeah, where they like go bowling and go to the cinema and go to karaoke.
and Harry exclaims that they all suck. Well, there's a point that she does that. And they're in a play park in a spinning globe.
A sphere thing.
Yeah, I remember those things in play parks. You just span.
Oh, yes. And so there's a couple of niceties in this episode actually that you just reminded me of. One is that,
Mhm.
and I love the fact that the narration is Kyon sounding like he's going to throw up.
Yeah, because he's narrating it while he's getting spun around by Harry. He then,
Yeah. But again, oh, sorry, no, go on.
yeah, she then does the whole spinning and then grabs onto the outer side of the cage and spins around with it.
She is full on suiciding off the side of that, going at full pelt.
Yeah,
Just like bring it on.
and
Um,
there's camera angle, a lot of different camera angles in this episode too.
So that's one of the ones I wanted to talk about. So there's not really, I don't think there's much else to talk about in episode 7, if I'm honest. But there's a really cool piece of camera or usage of camera towards the end of the episode when Kyon is doing his homework,
Yeah, maybe.
and it's the camera is on the clock, is on the hand
Mhm.
and tilting, there's a lot of cool stuff done there, I think.
Yeah, so instead of like you're watching the clock rotate, the camera rotates with the clock.
With the clock hand. Yeah,
Yeah, the
it's really cool.
second hand. So it's like
Is it?
goes,
Sorry, you're right. It's the second hand.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. Uh. Oh, there was something else I want to talk about one of the previous episodes when you go into bed. So, remember Cyberpunk 2026?
Yeah.
And there's a scene about
I,
like
I,
how do people go to bed? People don't go to bed like this, and they kind of because they're just kind of collapsed over with like just their upper torso on the bed in Cyberpunk. And then I came on, it was like I think it was episode 4 or 3, way back, like 2 episodes ago in our podcast. He keels over the bed just like that. It's like there you go. Keon does that. Keon does it.
so, yeah, just to prove you wrong, if, like anybody who had any doubt that that was a thing, not Cyberpunk did not invent that.
Yeah.
This is a legit process. Um, I did notice, I think in episode 6, that when he gets woken up from his sleep from phone calls, he has his hand down the back of his sleeping trousers,
Or,
like he's face down on the bed
uh,
and has his hand like that, like behind him. I don't know why. It's only that scene, those scenes that he's like that in for one episode.
yeah. He did start. He's like, "Oh, I got woke up," and then there's like a few ones where he hangs up on him with the phone again and stuff like that. Uh,
Yeah.
and is there one where he states something when the ring or something like that, or so it's like the number of the color is not recognized or something like that. I think I think
I
there's
don't remember.
no, they kind of merge in together. You kind of miss these points because you're like, this is the exact same shit as happened before.
Well, so episode 7 is the 15,527th loop. So moving on to I'm putting in quotations the important episode of these two because episode 8 is the conclusion. Uh, what I would like to submit to you right now
Mhm.
is, as we discussed before, the episodes are just over 20 minutes long, about
Mhm.
23, 24 sometimes at maximum. Um, the conclusion, the bit where things start to change, happens at minute 18
Oh, you checked this
of the
up?
last episode.
Yeah,
I am. Oh, okay, right.
it goes
I'm
all.
so fucking angry. I'm so angry. Like I know we talked about like the concept of like, oh, I wonder how this is get like I wonder if it's the payoff that's disappointing. Yeah, it is. It
Yeah,
is like, oh, I'm so sorry you were bored to tears for nearly 3 hours. Perhaps this swift kick to the testicles will, help rejuvenate any enjoyment that you might have had. No, it did not.
no,
Fuck this show.
did not work. Didn't didn't. I don't know
I'm
why.
so angry. I'm so angry.
Yeah,
We
so
spent so much time, and we will talk about. We will go into detail on this, but we spent so much time talking and speculating about the change and inflection points and the importance of characterization, and it it just gets thrown in the fucking trash.
well, almost. I mean, the only inflection point that we highlight, and we did highlight it maybe last episode, where we talked about the homework. And it happens at the end of the episode in the cafe where Keon's getting up and trying to stop Haruhi get out. But it takes them how many times to do it? What, 15,532 times?
Yep, 15,532 times.
So, it's
And
only taken
to
them.
be clear, they have started to become cognizant of this loop at 15,498 times.
Oh, as far as we know. That's when it starts showing
As
us.
far as we know. So that makes it worse, potentially.
Yeah.
What we're talking about here, is 34 attempts for him to do anything. And can we talk about the fact that the first time he does something, it's the right thing? I refuse to believe that.
You know? You,
I refuse.
I
Like,
think
unless he is the all-seeing, all-knowing God and does not know it, which may be the case,
I think that is, man.
there is no way. There is no way. It's taken Haruhi subconsciously over 15,000 attempts to get her perfect summer holiday.
Well,
And he manages to sort it in one.
that's because it's him. Though the way he did it is a bit weird. And also, talk about, like, Keon being the almighty. Because technically, we've already seen him go back in time 3 years when they noticed the world changed the first time. And he was with Harry at that point.
So are we saying that he's the change?
He's the change man. It's that all him, man. He's the one that has the power to make the changes subconsciously and somehow pin it all on Harui.
But it's not, it's even worse than that. It's even more complicated than that, because it's not that he has the power to do it.
Uh-huh.
It's he has the knowledge to impact it. He doesn't have the power to create a time loop. He doesn't have the power to create closed space. She does.
That's what they're insanity she does, yeah.
But he has a leash on that, basically.
He does have the ability to influence her. That's for sure.
He's basically the Deus Ex Machina of the show.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so shall we go into basically describing exactly what it was?
The last 4 minutes of this travesty. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So yeah, done some nice kind of like camera work, I feel, through this episode again. Like they do like some 3D-esque effect on her as he's trying to confess and work out what he's got to do, and then he just goes, "Screw it, I got to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it now," type thing, and then goes, "You can't leave just yet. We're not done," as he screams to the top of the voice in the cafe.
I
And
believe
then
he shouts, "Hold it,"
"Hold it."
or something like that. For like, I'm sure it's like he shouts. He doesn't say what he means. He waits to yell. He yells at her so that she turns around first.
Yeah, hold it. We're not done yet. None of us are. I still got homework to do, type thing. And then he goes and asks everyone else about all their homework. Yeah, I haven't really done that either, type thing. That's cool. You can all have a study date of mine then. And then she comes back and blatantly goes like, "Wait, who are you bossing around? You can't do that shit. You're not bossing anyone around. I will not
She
allow
like
it."
properly like prods him into a wall,
Yeah,
poking him, saying it's like, "I'm the head of the SOS brigade, not you. You have to ask permission for this sort of shit.
yeah,
Get your shit together." And then it's like, "Oh, but I want to come."
yeah. And that changes it. That changes it.
That I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
So mad. You know,
It was 8 episodes because of homework.
well, it was resolved because of homework. And did they do homework?
But it's
I
not.
don't
It's
know.
not even. It's not a good lesson.
Always do your homework
It's
first.
like, oh yeah, oh, yes. Here's Koizumi's hypothesis. It's like, oh, she's really smart, so she's probably never had to like buddy up with friends to do homework before, so that's perfect now. It's like,
Give
is
her,
it? Is
give her
that
that
what this
experience.
is?
Give her a new experience.
I just, it's so shit.
Even though she didn't really do the homework, 'cause she's already done it and played
Yeah,
from the wee montage of what happened. She played the video games with,
she played video games with Kyun's sister
yeah,
the whole time.
on the PS4, two even.
Uh,
Was it- it's
I mean,
totally a PS2.
oh god,
Didn't have the logo on it.
I was so mad, so mad. Do you want? I'll tell you the story as well.
Uh
I
huh.
was watching it.
Uh
I
huh.
was watching it,
Uh huh.
and I had to pause it to go and do something. And when I went back to resume it, it wouldn't load, and it had literally stopped. I had to pause it at the moment where he was like, "Hold it, we're not done yet." So I was like, "Holy shit, what's gonna happen?" And then it took, for some reason, it took me a while to get it back up and working, and it was like, "This is what I came back for. This is it. This is the grand reveal after 8 episodes of, I think, hinting at something far more about human relationships and about sort of like the subtlety of change and like that iterative process for perfection within her mind.
Mhm.
And the conversations about like the control again, like between Kyon and Haruhi, who has it, when do they have it, who's impacting who's influencing who. It's like, oh well, no, it was her, which I'm fine with, but it's her. She just wanted to like experience doing homework with other
No,
people.
she just wanted to experience. I don't know, more time with Gion. I think.
But it's not. But it's not that. It's definitely not what it said. It's definitely not the way it's read.
No, I
And
don't
even
know.
if that, like, even if that, I don't buy it. I think it's a total cop out.
I think they just didn't know how to end it. The story or something
And
like,
that's the saddest part is I think there are so many ways to end that.
yeah, could have like another um entity coming in and starting attacking them. Because I was starting thinking he was trying to talk to Nagito a lot.
Yeah,
I was starting to think that maybe she kind of like maybe started to she created this time loop herself because it's not without her power to do it because she's pretty much
there
all
are
omnipotent.
there are so many things that could be done with it. And like for me, even the simplest one and the most obvious one is just to have it so that it's like, look, this is about a relationship between the two lead characters. It is about her wanting so desperately to be noticed. And because I think deep down she feels Kyon is her equal. Like she doesn't treat him that way, but I think the fact that because if she put it this way, she's the type of character who, if she felt that people were beneath her, would not speak to them. She wouldn't deal with them, but she constantly relies on him and just wants him around.
Mhm.
So there's more to it than just like a friendship, and there's more to it than just simply, oh, he does things for me. There's a sort of mutual reliance there where Kyon really needs her because otherwise he's not going to do anything. He doesn't have the drive to do things, and she has that drive in spades. And in fact, I think in this episode he says it's like it's one of the things he loves about her is how just all in she is for everything she does.
Yeah, yeah,
And to take stuff like that and those like, because what we're talking about in its entirety is 8 episodes of subtle minor change between camera angles, vocal performances, clothing choices, pacing choices. Like, it is so fine grained detailed, and then to be so heavy handed at an ending, I think is just insulting.
yeah.
I can see why. Like, I was visibly angry when I finished watching this.
Wow, visibly angry. Yeah.
I, I and as I am now, I'm frustrated that something that I know, like as you said, like the whole reason we're doing this show is because this was very divisive,
Hmm.
and caused a lot of controversy about the quality of the second season. And albeit I don't think we've ever particularly scored any of the episodes too highly, and there are things I probably would have personally changed to have it sort of drive a narrative forward rather than feel like it was just constantly stuck in the time loop. But I think that's a choice. And like, kudos to you. You said it's like, well, actually I want people to feel like they're experiencing what the characters are experiencing. I want them to feel like they're coming to it and having to cope with this repetition and to feel the subtle changes and to acknowledge the deja vu when it happens.
Hmm.
But then it's just such a nothing ending. It's such a non sequitur. It
Yeah.
makes no narrative sense. Like we've never like they've worked on projects as a group before. Not homework, granted, but they've done things as a team before.
Hmm. Well, they do things in every
And
episode
I
of the team.
exactly. And like yes, okay, so it's the one time where he tries to take charge of a situation. Sure. But spin it that way then. Don't spin it that it's like, well, what she really wanted was to feel like the person who she felt was her equal take a little bit of charge and control of a situation. It's like, okay, I can see that. Like that's the thing. It's like she wants more from the relationship between them than just her constantly barking orders. She wants to feel challenged. I could believe that.
Yeah.
But not I just, wanted to do homework, wanted to be in a study group.
Yeah. Well, doesn't everyone? Doesn't everyone? Yeah. So, oh, that is, yeah, it's a downer, man. It's just like created in so many ways. But I also think maybe it kind of iterates the challenges of maybe wanting to do something, but just never find the power to do it, and then finally he finally does something, but then also chickens out again, like at the last minute of like, you know what, you can't leave yet. We got unfinished business, and then he goes, oh shit, what am I saying? Homework. That's what I'm on about.
Yep.
I think maybe
I
undertones of that.
I think that's even another thing is like he homework was just the first thing that came to his mind. He just knew it's like, oh yeah, we're not done.
Yeah.
I guess like us homework. Yeah, I've done that yet. What about like the idea? It's like maybe she wants to spend time with you. Like maybe that's like there's a driver there. Like I just it's I think that you have a show that's at its core is driven by the relationships between those lead characters. There's a push and pull. They are yin and yang. They are polar opposites, but part like we've said before, like they are the um, opposite sides of the same coin.
Hmm.
I feel like they are that opposites attract. They're that relationship that exists out of a balance. And I think to not explore that in any further way or any other relationship with any character, that's the thing is that it's not. I think it, to me at least, what the whole thing was leading to was there's things here that are going to be important to the characters. It's not just about at the end of it, it's an action that changes it. Sure, like it's like we're gonna go all and do homework together, right? Fine. Why is the lesson? Oh, she wanted to be part of a study group. Why is the lesson not like I say? It's like she wanted to be challenged. She wanted to feel more of an equal in this relationship. It's like that's the stuff I'd want to explore more. It's and I think particularly knowing that we have 5 more episodes to go and a movie, I feel disappointed that that's where this is. Like I don't know how to feel. Are they going to expand on this for in the last 5 episodes, or is it just going to be another 5 episodes of Downer where it's like, oh, this time it was about, oh, she'd never like worn big shoes before, but now she really likes big shoes.
Yeah, and big
Like, what
red
is it
clown
next?
nose and the multicolored afro hair.
She went to a baseball game, loved it, cool. Now the world's saved, and it's like, if the whole point of the show is to highlight the mundanity of being able to satiate sort of like a crazy powerful being, then cool, make that's what your show's about. But to me, that's not what this show is about.
No, I don't think it is. But yeah, it does kind of try underlines, and especially now that it's like if you go in chronological order, you can only just like start in the second season. So you got like, God, what was it? So it started on four. So, so you got about an hour 10 episodes in chronological order to go through.
Yeah.
Um, and at that point, it's like, and we kind of know how it kind of ends. uh, with the was it the summer, the winter show where he
Some
goes out and buys a heater
some someday in the rain.
someday in the rain. Yeah.
And I so I'm gonna rate these episodes because I think I need to talk about Someday in the Rain. Uh Part 7 is just nothing, so it's just I think a continuation of 5 for me. Like there's nothing there.
Mm. Uh,
Um there
yeah.
wasn't enough change.
Yeah.
And I think I'm probably gonna go for a 2 for the last one. I can't I can't in good conscience give it a 1 because I think that there's still stuff that's good about it, but
Mm.
man, it's it's
Disappointing.
just not good. Yeah, it is. It's disappointing.
Yeah. I don't
You
know. I think I would go episode 7 as a 6. I kind of like
okay?
the camera angles and things that they did in it. Did it made enough change for me in the sense that I have took out some of the monotonous of it.
Yeah,
Episode 8, yeah, the homework thing kind of destroys the whole saga. But I don't think I would go to Loads of 3 because I still kind of enjoyed it. Well, maybe go for 4, 4 or 3. Yeah,
okay.
4.
And that's it.
Because
But I guess like to go back to Someday in the Rain, I think is a valid point. I thought that was a really dull episode.
Mhm.
It was really boring to me. But the thing that raised it back up for me was the characterization,
Yeah,
and like that's all you needed to do was to even have it hint at being sort of a connective tissue between a desire for something to be a thing or to do something, and having that be important to the characters as a group
mhm.
or to two connected individuals and not one.
Yeah. I, I suppose what you're talking about that comparing with Endless Eight then, and
Yeah,
that storytelling. Yeah, I suppose it can kind of shows in the sense that what, they're a couple of years apart, 2 years apart, 3 years apart.
for the seasons,
Yeah,
3 years apart.
yeah. 2006, 2009.
Yeah,
Yeah. I can see maybe that's taken a bit of toll on that aspect of things. Well, I want to go back to episode 8. And the most important part is Keon is playing poker with Koizumi.
yes, at the very end.
Yeah, and he gets dealt a royal flush. And he's like, damn
I,
it. I wish that I can tell my past self to put money in this game. That's the best part of the episode.
It is,
Which
and I
is
suppose it's another sort. It's a hint, maybe again, towards what we're kind of talking about, is that maybe he's more important than to the group than just the comic relief.
yeah, and sensibility.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the moral compass rather.
Yeah. No, it's right. The Endless Eight, I think, ran too long. I think if you had it for maybe 3 or 4 episodes, you could easily run that saga without being 8 episodes long
Yep, sure could,
and still get the point,
definitely could.
same point across. Because hell, it is literally the same episodes for 8 episodes, and then just one
Yeah,
little change at the end where it goes,
yep,
"Yeah, let's do
it is
homework."
rough.
I want to do my homework.
But looking forward to the future, the next time we'll be discussing the first 2 episodes of part 1 and part 2 of The Sigh of Haruhi Suzumiya. So moving on to a new 5 part. That should be quite good, hopefully.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is an audio podcast, as you probably know because you're listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
If you would care so much to leave a review or star rating, be as critical as you like. We'd love to hear from you. We're available for all good podcasts are available: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Spotify, and Anchor.fm. Share us with your friends. If you think you know someone that would like the show, please share. We have a Facebook account, a Facebook page, facebook.com/who's that anime, where we post when the new episodes go up and occasionally some anime memes. Colin has a Twitch channel where he plays lots of games, twitch.tv/couchfuel. Currently playing Biomutant.
Biomutant is what I'm currently playing at the time of this recording.
Yep.
If I'm not playing it, it'll be on the YouTube channel.
That's at which there is a
Eventually.
YouTube channel where all
Yeah.
the archives go.
Yep.
Hundreds of hours of gaming entertainment on that. You can just find that by going to youtube.com and looking for Couch Fuel.
Mm-hmm.
If you like horror games, I have a twitch.tv twitch.tv/Hail Payman. There's also a YouTube channel where I keep my archive of that as well. And I think that's us.
Yeah. This has been Who's That Anime? And it's been your host, Steve and Colin. That's a goodbye from him.
Bye.
And that's how well Steve took the last episode endlessly.
Yeah. I just realised that this episode is essentially a 30-minute rant of how angry I am about having seen that ending.
I think every discussion about Endless 8 is a 30-minute rant at the end of it.
You're not wrong.
I
You're not
think-
wrong. Hopefully we'll be back next time with something nicer to talk about.
Yeah. Some more fun times. Till then, we'll catch you on the flip side. Byes.
Bye, folks.